Welcome to the Essentia Health podcast series. I'm your host, Yeji Lee. In this series, we bring you helpful information to support your well-being and to overcome the many challenges that life can bring. Our aim always is to bring you information or actions to support your well-being that's accessible to everybody. Now, January is National Mental Wellness Month, and in light of this, our podcast topic today highlights focusing on mental wellness as we enter the new year. Our guest today is Norman Weiniger, Vice President of Clinical Services here at Essentia Health and licensed mental health practitioner with many years of experience working in the mental health field.
Thank you, Yeji. Looking forward to talking about this topic today.
Thanks for being here, Norman. Can you dive into the significance of mental wellness and why it's important to consider mental health during this time of the year?
Certainly, I think for a lot of people, Yeji, January is thought of as a time of the year that marks the new beginning, and therefore it serves as a new opportunity for us, an opportunity for reflection, self-examination, personal growth, setting goals for the future. So the idea of mental health awareness in January is to call out to people sort of a challenge to put their mental wellness forward as a priority in January and for the whole year, and to encourage people to examine habits that practices that support emotional and psychological well-being throughout the course of the year. And we know that part of that is implementing appropriate self-care and healthy coping mechanisms, coping with managing stress. All that helps to build the foundation for healthier mental, emotional, and psychological adjustment. So this month of January and this awareness around it is about encouraging the adoption of habits that are going to lead to greater emotional strength and resiliency, to improved overall mental health, and to help people enjoy those kind of benefits the year round by thinking some about the subject at this time of year.
That's great, Norman. Additionally, what are some approachable ways that people can start prioritizing mental wellness in this new year?
Well, it's a good question, Yeji. And, we talk a lot about practical, accessible activities and attitudes that people can adopt, because there are really so many small things that work for people that you can incorporate into your daily routine. Some work for some people, some are more appealing to others. But my point is, I would encourage people to think about these, and I'll name a few, these small things that you can incorporate into your daily routine that can actually make a substantial impact on your well-being. One way is to start by setting intentions for the year ahead, set realistic and manageable goals for taking care of your mental health, such as journaling, meditating, exploring the concept of self-care activities. Another straightforward step is to learn more about practicing mindfulness, because we know that engaging in mindfulness activities, which can be breathing techniques, guided meditations, even mindful walking, applying mindfulness to other activities. By doing those things a few minutes per day can actually have a big impact on reducing your levels of stress and on improving your sense of well-being. Um, Another practice, Yeji, that people can work on is maintaining a healthy routine. So, what does that mean? It often means introducing some level of physical activity, presuming that you're medically able to be physically active, and then incorporate that regular exercise into your daily routine, because we know some type of physical exercise, um, particularly when combined with some mindfulness approaches, can help reduce stress, can improve our mood, can actually increase our energy. Another thing to keep in mind, Yeji, you've heard us talk about this before, is sleep. Getting a good amount of healthy sleep is a factor to our overall mental well-being. Therefore, trying to keep a consistent sleep schedule, and examining your sleep health, if you will, can be important. Um, Two more things I'd quickly mention that are accessible to all of us is building your social. One is building your social connections. By that I mean staying connected with family and friends, engaging in enjoyable activities that involve interaction with other people. That is a great foundation for mental health. And last, I would mention in our digital world to keep in mind the concept of digital detoxing, which means limiting screen time, setting boundaries around social media and screen time, because we know that excessive exposure to negative news or negative social media does impact our mental well-being. So think about limiting digital interactions and think about focusing more on real life interactions. And if I could conclude, Yeji, I would encourage people to learn more about this topic. Take some time this month to do that. Here's a trusted source with lots of practical information. It's the National Institute of Mental Health, and their very robust website is at this address, nih.gov. Let me repeat that, nih.gov. Now, finally, also, if you wanted some confidential one-to-one consultation with a counselor about mental health and about self-care, or really about any personal issue, then your employee assistance program is a great place to start. EAP services are professional, confidential, and no cost, so I would recommend for listeners to always keep that resource of the EAP in mind, Yeji.
Thank you so much, Norman. You have shared very important information, and I'm sure everybody here learned a lot today. I think that we can all think about adding in practicing mental wellness as a part of our New Year's resolution for this year. But with all of that, we conclude today's podcast. And on behalf of everyone here at Essentra Health, thank you for listening.